What's up, comic compadres, and welcome back to the Team Nerd Herd podcast, where our best advice for you is if you want to do it right, collect what you like. But yo, we got another bullish and bearish show for you. But before we get into that, let's get a little roll call going. I'm gonna pass it over to the Spec master himself, Alonzo. What's up, Alonzo?
What's going on, fellas? This is Alonzo, aka Comics and Pops, and I'm here to have some fun and hopefully give and get some knowledge tonight. So. And I'm excited. We have Mr. Azorus Tiger with us today. What's going on?
Spinetick.
What's happening? It's Azorus Tiger, one of the Spinetick, over here representing with Team Nerd Herd. Come and learn some stuff and also share what I feel about this bullish bearish market.
All right, Nick, how about you, bro? The professor of investing right here. Firesale Comics.
Hello, everybody. Yo, this is Nick, Firesale Comics, your collecting expert. Yeah, man, I'm excited to get into another bear and bull. Let's talk about some things that we really like and some things that we really don't like.
Yo, but a word, man. I want to talk to y'all about what being bullish and bearish is about. You know, like I got a couple questions about that. I think people are a little confused, but we're bringing some financial wordish into the comic book game, man. So here's a quick definition of what we mean by being bullish or bearish for those not in the know. Bullish books are books that are on a bull run, books that have strong current and future value. In regards to bearish, you might think of bears as being strong, maybe even violent, but in financial terms, bearish refers to bears in the winter hibernating, sleeping, or in depression terms, bear, empty cupboards. Bearish here refers to the same things, books that give you that cold, wintry, empty vibe, books that have downside, books that are losing value. But on the other side of it, they might be good books to buy in what we call the dip, books that are underappreciated and undervalued and might have hope for more value in the future. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into
it. Wonderful explanation.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, like we're just trying to help. We're just trying to help mi gente, man. Like we want y'all to get these terms right so you can make that cash. But let's talk about some bullish books, man. So first up, what you bullish on, Nick?
Oh, geez. I'm bullish on Eternals. I don't know why everybody isn't bullish on Eternals. Their movie is coming. It is a ensemble movie. It is a space epic. Does this sound familiar? Guardians of the Galaxy? I mean, come on, guys. Like, this is going to be a movie that was it's going to come out in theaters and it's going to set the world on fire. It's going to come out on theaters right as everyone's getting out of COVID. Guys, if you're not bullish on these Bronze Age beauties right here, you're not paying attention to the Spec game and you're sleeping. You're sleeping. You should be bullish on the Eternals. The Eternals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that entire original run, some Jack Kirby goodness.
Jack Kirby goodness.
Get it. You know, so yeah, I'm bullish on Eternals, man. What do you guys think?
I think Eternals gonna hit me on the side of the head like the Falcon and Winter Soldier did. Like I did no spec for that. You know, like I don't think I don't know if I'm the only one that didn't do spec for that, but I should have. And then I'm like, God damn, I should have got that Captain America number 5 and number 6 and all these other books I should have got, man.
There's still time, man. Like
these
books are cheap. The near mint versions of Eternals number 1 are still cheap in comparison to some things like Young Avengers number 1 or, you know, other books that we're always also bullish on, right? So like just think about, you know, hey, I could get 3 9.2s for what a 9.6 of Young Avengers number 1 is.
So here's the thing, right? So I agree wholeheartedly with the panel. I think Eternals number 1, we should all be bullish on it. We should be buying copies. The problem is we got all of these like average Joes that are on the sidelines and they don't know what Eternals is about. They have the cash, but until they can understand it, until they can see something, they're not going after this book, which is a reason why we should be going after this book. Again, I'm just speculating here on what people are looking at, and Eternals is the way it is, or it's priced the way it is because people don't know about this movie or this project that Marvel is doing, because there hasn't been a trailer, there hasn't been any news. You know, the movie's actually done. But Marvel's just kind of sitting on it. So people are curious. They're a little hesitant. But this is a great opportunity, so I'm all in it.
Yeah, I'm also bullish on Eternals. So I think people are sleeping on the Eternals. And as far as comic book fans, we all know what the Eternals is about, what it consists of, and what it's going to lead into. So as far as what we've been seeing with these Disney Plus TV shows, once they visually see someone on the screen, then everyone's going crazy. Straight FOMO, hitting up eBay. So it's like you get your Eternals now, where they're not talking about it. It's died down. People are sleeping because once the trailer drops, it's going to start going up a little bit more.
Yo, man, that's what we're all about on this show, right? Catching fools on the FOMO, man. Getting it, being bullish on it early, and catching these fools on the FOMO on the wick, man. And what's our rule? Our rule is like, don't chase the wick, don't chase the FOMO. But yo, if they want to chase that FOMO, I got the book for you. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't want to chase the pump, man, because
don't chase the pump.
Yeah.
Yo, but let's move on, man. So yo, I'm picking up this too, man, because I'm trying to get you guys onto this, man. So like we all know Riri's coming, man. We all know Ironheart's coming. But there's a lot of books that people are really specking on hard. You know, like they're specking on that Iron Man, what, number 8, number 9,
yeah,
and you know, a couple other books that Riri was in, but people are not thinking about this Eve L. Ewing run, right? Like, especially these number ones, man. These number ones are underappreciated, man, and I'm super bullish on these. Like, I'm finding these in backbends. I'm serious. Like, I found Ironheart, the cover A. I found cover B. I found 2-3 of them the other day. And how awesome is that cover B with her taking the selfie with the Jets? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you got the Scotty Young one right here. Like that's a dope cover. And then you got the incentives, right? You got the 1 in 10 right here, the 1 in 10, and you got the 1 in 25, and you actually got this 1 in 50 by Bartel. And I actually picked this 9.8 signed by Bartel for $150. You know, like that's how bearish people are on this. So I'm super bullish. But the one book that we all know, man, out of these number ones to get is the second print right here. You know, the white cover. That one's going to be hard because people are actually bullish on that, right? But that's a tough one to get. You know, that's a tough one. If you find it in a back bin, that thing's probably worth $200 to $300. But you can actually find these other ones for cheap. You know, I'm like, I found all of these on discount, you know, at stores. I found the incentives, like maybe I've been bullish on these for a while. I've been bullish on these for about 6 months, 7 months. So I found these on the cheap, actually discounted on some of these incentive covers, but you can still find the cover A and cover B. And I really believe in the Ramos cover B, where she's taking the selfie picture with the Jets, because I think that could be something in the movies. We could see that in the movies. I could see it happening. Like that's a panel that Disney can see. Like she's having fun. She just created her suit. She flies up. She goes, yo, let me just take my picture out and take a picture with these Jets. And if that ever happens, yo, man, you better watch out, man, because you could catch these fools on that FOMO, like catch them on the FOMO. What do you guys think about this, man? I know Alonzo has some a lot of thoughts on Riri.
Oh my God, I love Riri. I have tons of her first appearance. I like this pick. I believe in Ironheart number 1. I mean, if you think about it too, Disney Plus or the series is going to need something to pull from, and I think they're going to be pulling from this particular series. So there's so much potential for this book, and I mean, to your point, Ian, if you can find this on the cheap, I mean, why not pick these books up? Riri is an amazing character, you know, and I cannot say enough about her. And again, it's this series, I believe, and I hope that the guys in Marvel are going to be using this particular series to create their story.
And you can actually find number 1, like cover A for $10 or $5 on eBay. You could find cover B for $10 on eBay right now. That's a 3-steak dinner for both, right? Like that's what I'm thinking. What do you think, Nick?
I agree. I think a lot of this stuff, like, you know, with these younger characters, you're going to end up with, like, you know, iconic covers for them. You're going to end up with, like, you know, key stories for them, just like you have for Spider-Man and you have for other characters. So I haven't read these myself, but I'm sure there's key moments for this character. I'm sure there's key, like, you know, villains and stuff like that she runs into. And yeah, you can't go wrong with any of these young guys or heroes, I should say, young heroes. You can't go wrong with them getting their early series.
Yep.
Most
What do you think, Azores?
Oh yeah, I'm all about Ironheart, man. So I've been keeping up with Riri for a long time. So I got those books on the cheap before before news was announced. We already know they already casted the main actress to play her. So that news spiked it a little bit. So I'm like you. Whenever I see it, I just grab it. Like if I see it, grab some covers not too long ago with her and Shuri on the covers. Because she had a whole situation when she was in Wakanda. So I grabbed those up because, like you said, it's tons of storylines, and this one is one to come. Man, people are totally sleeping on Riri because they don't want to move towards the future, but it's coming. We already know it's coming. So Disney Plus, the shows, they're on top of things right now, man. They're showing up. Up.
So honestly, I'm picking up the whole run. There's this run it has been underappreciated for a long time, probably underprinted. So anytime I see any of these books, man, I'm picking them up, man. I also read it too, and I love Eve Ewing's writing. So it's actually a pretty good story too, man. But Azores, man, what you bullish on, bro?
So I'm totally bullish on Cindy Moon and Silk. So we had a blast with the first Into the Spider-Verse. So Silk, I'm really feeling like she's going to be in Into the Spider-Verse 2. And then I also made some announcements that Silk is going to have her own series. So I'm totally on board with this. It died down for a little bit, so that's when I was just grabbing it up. So I think I have maybe 2 or 3 copies of both of those. But I'm also looking at, the ones where she has appearances with the other Spider Women, like the Spider Women series where she's with Ghost Spider and Spider Woman. So I'm trying to figure out what characters are coming to Into the Spider-Verse 2, and I can totally see her coming because those standout characters we had on the first animated movie was awesome. So I could totally see Silk, and she is a part of so many different teams and teams up with a lot of new characters where I think she's gonna be one to watch.
What do you think, Alonzo? I know you love Silk.
I do, and I love the fact that you brought up Azores, the Stacey Lee variant for Spider Woman. You need to pick that one up because it's going to happen. It's in the future. I also am bullish on this particular book, but I would buy on the dips. To Azores' point, like there was no news, and then the books came down in price, and there was a rumor that Sony might be developing a series, and the book spiked up. Right now, it'd probably be a good opportunity to buy, or you can wait just a little bit, but definitely be bullish on this character. I mean, Cindy Moon Silk, the sky's the limit for her. She's like the opposite of Spider-Man or Peter Parker because she embraces like her powers. She's not afraid of it. She's really like balls to the wall kind of character, and she's not afraid. And I think people that are kind of on the fence about Peter will definitely rally around Cindy Moon, her Silk.
How about you, Nick? What you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree. It's a book that I've neglected to pick up, that original Sin #4. I just remember I was in a negotiation with a guy on eBay for a 9.8, and I didn't pull the trigger on his ask. I think he asked like 120, and I was like, no. And now if the book blew through the roof after that first rumor that you guys are talking about, and I'm super sour. I got a bunch of those Amazing Spider-Man #1s, and that's cool. I wish that book got more love. I think you're right. Cindy Moon is going to blow up. These characters, these Spider characters. Sony wants to get some money out of their Spider universe, and they're not trying to give that stuff up. So
yeah,
man, I know that's. I think this Amazing Spider-Man #1 by Slott and Ramos is underappreciated. It's been underappreciated for a long time. The first appearance of Cindy Moon. I used to find these in dollar bins, and I would just pick them up because I always thought like, Cindy Moon is Silk, and Silk is Cindy Moon. So I think you still can find these in back bins, maybe in some dollar bins in your neck of the woods if you're not here in the urban central that we are, where all the crazy maniac comic collectors like us are. If you're out in the backwoods, if you're in Canada, like Doobie and Hyper, and you got them backwood comic book shops, man, go do it. And I think another underappreciated one for Amazing Spider-Man #4 is actually the second print. The second print is actually affordable, man, and it actually says second print on the bottom. I would really look for that one. I think that one has a lot of love. It needs a lot of love and has a lot of growth potential. But number 4, the first print, I mean, it's to the moon, you know. I mean, if she ever makes it in maybe Spider-Verse or the cartoon or in an actual film or on the MCU, and like we told him before, right, Nick? Asian influenced characters. You know what I'm saying? Bullish. Yeah. Buy that. Buy
Agents
that.
of Atlas.
Yeah, man. And Alonzo, man, what you bullish on?
Wow. What can I say about Young Avengers that hasn't already been said before? I mean, tons of first appearances. And we know that these characters have either made an appearance, will make an appearance. So, I mean, you should buy this book. It's got tons of potential. I mean, Hawkeye's going to be coming soon. Patriot, we got a glimpse of Patriot already in Falcon Winter Soldier. We already had
Wiccan.
I mean,
Wiccan?
I'm like Asgardian. We had Wiccan already and Speed on WandaVision. I mean, the sky's the limit for this book. I know prices right now are high, but they're high for a reason. This book is not coming down anytime soon. So if I were you, I would just pick it up. I mean, you don't have to go crazy with getting the Wizard World variant or the director's cut. I mean, grab this book. Grab as many as you can. Hide them away, because it's going to increase. I mean, it has been increasing, for the past year. I mean, and it has not come down at all. So definitely pick this one up. I love it. I think it'll be more expensive as more announcements come out and these Young Avengers hit the big screen.
What you think of Zoris, man? I know you're bullish on this too, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board for the Young Avengers. Another one that I think, quote unquote, we've possibly seen before is Iron Lad. I know a lot of people were saying that they think it's going to be the kid that was in Iron Man 3, and then he ended up at Tony Stark's funeral at the end of the end game. So even if it's not him playing the character, we know that Kang the Conqueror is coming, and Kang the Conqueror is just another version of Iron Lad. So pretty much we have everybody on that team make some sort of appearance, some kind of way, some sort of news, except Hulkling. And go ahead.
I was going to say, Azores, that's a good point. So Hulkling is a Skrull.
Oh,
the Skrulls are coming in Secret Invasion.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Yep. So it's all there. It's all there. Grab this book.
I mean, where did Monica Rambeau go? Right? Like, we already know, right? What do you think, Nick?
Exactly.
I mean, the same thing. I've been buying this book for a while. I don't have enough copies. I feel bullish. This is, it is it's an ensemble first appearance book. Like, if you can pick those up, Young Avengers, Agents of Atlas, these are good books to have. Like Alonzo said, it's kind of expensive now. If you could find a dip, maybe if there's YouTube channels blowing it up, maybe you can buy some.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's this debate between Champions and Young Avengers, and I say go bullish on both. But the thing about it is, I know the MCU doesn't want to confuse people and go, the new teams are the Champions. Are like, what happened to the Avengers?
These are first appearances.
Yeah. Call these young.
This one's by default.
Yeah, but I mean, just add Young Avengers to it. And you're not confusing the mass audience, the average Joe who's not a comic book collector, right? And like Alonzo said, man, a raw copy for this is about $350, and 9.8 is about $1,200. But I don't think that's cheap. I think that's cheap. Don't get me wrong. I think that's cheap right now. I think the sky's the limit on this book. I think when we see Kate Bishop, this book you're going to see more Moon on this. Yes. It's over, man. She's such a perfect character for Kate Bishop and the MCU. We're going to see this just skyrocket. I mean, I got fooled by the fake trailer that JR put up. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people got fooled. I was like, oh shit! I was like, Nick, I need to buy more. I went to eBay and actually bought one for $300. I was like, damn it, JR, But I know it's a good investment at $300 because I know this is worth more. I know this is more. I know it's not going to dip under $300. I'm super bullish on this too, man. But what's up? And what do we got for Bearish, man? Yo, so for Bearish, Azores, man, what you got, bro?
So for Bearish, I have a Batman versus Predator series. So basically, we know. Well, first off, I'm a Batman fan and I'm a Predator fan. I know I'm all about Marvel and everything, but when I was reading DC books, I was totally Batman. So that was my main DC character. As far as Predator, we know that Marvel just bought Predator and Aliens run. So I don't think they're going to give us Batman versus Predator ever now, right? But it was an awesome book I had for my PC. But I would totally, if you get it, I would get it, not spend too much money on it, just have it for your PC as a collectible. But if I had it in surplus, I would totally unload on that one.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on this one, man. Batman versus Predator, it's not happening for me, man. I remember that I was super bullish on this, probably like in 2019 when NECA came out with the at Comic-Con with the figures, the Batman versus Predator. But after that, I was kind of, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not happening, man. Marvel ain't going to be having Batman clash with Predator anytime soon in the next 20 years. So, bye-bye. What do you think? What do you think, Alonzo?
I agree. With Batman versus Predator, I think that ship has sailed. I mean, I would just move on. This is dollar bin fodder right now. I mean, if you're going to pick it up on the cheap. And to Zoris's point and to your point, Ian, it's for your PC. I mean, that's it. There's right now there's nothing of value that I can see with this particular book, and the same goes with like Green Lantern versus Predator or versus Aliens, Superman Aliens. I mean, just all these Predator Aliens books. I mean, just pass.
Nick, any thoughts, man?
Yeah, man, I would say this book. Yes, this is a Spec show, and the Spec on this book is dead.
Bye. All right, and then for Bearish for me, man, is the Nolan Dillon keys, man. I know back in 2019, 2018, everybody had to get this one, right? Whatever the fifth print, whatever it was, and third print, right? I hope you guys got rid of those because a good friend of ours told me and Azores get rid of them as soon as possible. About 6 months ago, and we did. And I won't even lie, man. I lost interest in Venom around 25 or 26, and I just was not interested anymore. I just kind of lost interest. I know a lot of you are gonna hate me. I know you love this. I know you love the Venom run, but I don't really see no coming back for a while, and I don't see anything happen with Dillon for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because Donny Cates is going to take a break from Venom. He's going to move on. He's going to go do his whatever. He's going to get assigned next by Marvel. He has crossover. He has Baby Teeth coming back out. His mind and his thoughts are somewhere else. And I think when that happens, both Nolan and Dillon are going to be on hibernation, man. But if you are a fan, this is a good time to buy, man. I see these on Instagram all the time for super cheap. You could buy these for 60% off right now, whatever it was from 2019. You know what I'm saying? They're out there on eBay for you to get. People want you to buy the set. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, buy them. Put them in a nice box that can keep it safe for the next 5 to 6 years. And and I hope you the best wishes and best of luck with this book. But I'm bearish on it. What do you think, Alonzo?
Same thing. I'm honestly, I never got into Dillon. I just couldn't relate to the character. I didn't buy the first appearances. I didn't have any FOMO over this character. I'm just you know what? It's for me. The character didn't really do anything for me, and I don't think Cates and knew what to do with the character really, because he was always kind of in the background until the King in Black. That's when he kind of came into his own a little bit. But again, he's going to be off of it. Who knows what the next writer is going to do with this particular character? So again, if you want to pick it up, go for it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I got stuck with these books, man. I'm sitting on these books right now. I got the first print, the second print, the third print. Anybody want them? You at Fire Sell Comics at Instagram. Hit me up on a DM and let me know if you're bullish on these books. We'll cut a deal because I'm good and I'm ready to move off of them. So, yep.
Yo, man. I mean, I love Donny Cates. I love Donny Cates' stories. I love his arcs, man. But he doesn't develop characters like they should be, man. I mean, I've been let down a lot on like his Marvel characters. A lot of letdowns, especially on like Guardians of the Galaxy and his run there. You know, it was, but maybe who knows, man? Like, you know, I mean, if you want to be bullish on it, maybe, you know, Tinian would jump on with Marvel. I don't know, and develop Dylan like he should have been, man. But until Tinian jumps on this, or somebody else that has the writing skills to develop a character, I am bearish like a motherfucker. All right, moving on. What's up? What you bearish on, Azores?
All right, so just like you said, I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this. They're not going to like this one, but I'm bearish on Thundercats. I'm a super Thundercats fan. I actually have these books in my personal collection, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull it off right. You know, it's been a long time, and everyone's like, why haven't they done anything with Thundercats, you know, from here? And now we have some news about it. Things are getting hot. But, you know, like I said, I keep it for my PC and maybe even sell some of them to people that are trying to get them right now. Because honestly, I don't know if they can actually do it right, man, or do it justice.
Okay.
What do you think, Alonzo?
I have to disagree with you, Azores, and I think this is probably one of the only times we might be like not seeing this eye to eye. And I know you're a huge fan, but guess what? The director that's going to be doing this movie is a huge fan. And I believe that he's going to give this book or give this property the right direction it needs. I know right now there's a lot of hype on this. I would buy on the dip with this particular book because right now a lot of speculators are jumping on it. I would wait for them to panic because there's not going to be any news for this particular book or any news for the movie for probably another year or a year and a half. So I would buy, but I would buy on the low. If you can get it cheap, definitely buy it. I am bullish on this book. And again, I think this is probably going to be the first and only time Azores and I don't see eye to eye. But yeah, I would do it. I mean, why not? It's a classic character. There's a lot of nostalgia on it. You have a director that's a fan. And again, we're just getting tidbits of information. So I definitely think sky's the limit, and let's see what happens.
I hope they do it right.
I got a lot. I agree with Azores here. Have you? There was a movie that came out about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. It was done by Warner Brothers. It was called Cats, and people couldn't get through the first 20 minutes of that movie, right? And you're telling me that there's another movie they're gonna make with people as cats, as CGI cats. But this time, they're wearing leotards and they have whips, right? and you know, and there's one that says snarf or whatever he says and that kind of stuff, and he's got a lizard tail and stuff like that. Look, man, I'm a Thundercats fan just like the rest of you guys. I grew up on that thunder, you know.
Oh,
but
you even say that wrong. It doesn't sound like you're a fan there, Nick.
Hey, I'm a fan enough to like. I grew up in the '80s, and I know what we're talking about here, and you know. But the thing is, I just don't. If you're talking about an animated show coming back, and they're bringing back the Thundercats from a few years ago, animated show that was really, really well done. You know, that like they redid basically the '80s show, but with new animation and stuff like that. You know, cool. If you're talking about doing like a CGI thing, that scares me. You know, the last thing they did with Thundercats was Thundercats Roar, which was the Cal art style. And that art style is great when you're talking about Gravity Falls. But it's not what I was expecting out of Thundercats, right? So the director may be a fan. If he's casting real-life people that are going to wear leotards, man, I just don't know. I don't know. There's this uncanny valley that is being broken with this stuff nowadays. And just something about people as cats. I mean, they had Idris Elba in that movie. They had James Corden in that movie. They had Rebel Wilson in that movie, right?
Cats, completely different. We're not talking about the what is it, the cat? Whatever that was cats.
I don't even know if that happened with the
totally different.
I don't know if that happened. But I do know, like, hey, these guys are also cats, like, but they're wearing leotards, and there's cat children wearing leotards. So it's depending how they do it, man.
But here's the thing, right? You're right. It depends on how they do it. But once that trailer comes out, or once information or leaked information comes out, it's going to be too late.
True.
It's going to be too late for you to grab that book.
The more I talk about it, I'm like, well, what if they did cats like like gods of Egypt or something like? What if they did Thundercats like gods of Egypt or something like that? And they got like all this armor and it's like chink, 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 and they look all really cool and stuff. That might be really cool, right? But if they come out wearing what that cover looks like,
but here's the thing: God. They're not gonna have leotards. I mean, it's such a like '80s thing. Yeah. Right? I mean, this is the stuff that, Jane Fonda was wearing back when she was doing Jazzercise or whatever, right? This isn't stuff that people are gonna be like, okay, like they're gonna wear. It's like right?
A lot of that toy stuff. Does any of that toy stuff really work, right? Like He-Man, right? In the TV, in the movies right now. Like, G.I. Joe, we talked about last week on this show. Does that really work? Like Transformers, is that even really working anymore? A lot of this stuff is just kind of like, I don't really know how much they're going to be able to go to that 80s movies TV before the 80s movies kids don't really care a lot to show their kids anymore.
You must not have seen Bumblebee. I think you didn't see that. If you didn't see that movie, then I can hear. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or you didn't see that Optimus Prime on Hasbro Pulse like transform on its own. I mean, I guess you didn't see all of that stuff.
I almost think Transformers is the gem of that group because they're basically giant kaiju fighters, right? And we know kaiju stuff works, right? We just saw Kong Godzilla, Pacific Rim is the thing. We know giant monsters fighting in cities and causing giant destruction works, right? I just don't know if some of these other more grounded things. I'm a big fan of a lot of these things, man. I would love to see Gummy Bears, the movie, the Disney show Gummy Bears. But it's some of the stuff just isn't for that. Who knows? I'd love to be proven wrong.
This is my 2 cents.
I hope they do it. I hope they do it right.
Yeah. But this is
I'm
my 2
rooting
cents
for them.
This is my 2 cents, right? Like, I told my nephew, "Yo, did you see the new Thundercat movie?" He's like, "That's a fucking boomer shit." So like, that's a boomer shit. He's like, "That's boomer shit, bro." So like, people like me who have this, we did the boomer flex on Instagram. Like, you didn't see no young people fucking putting this book up on Instagram, man. Like, and the young people are the future, man, and the young people are gonna be buying the movie tickets, man, and buying all that stuff. Like, they don't want nothing about Thundercats, man. They're like, fucking. What the cats? Thundercats? What? That didn't make no damn sense, And all you guys, and you got the old men saying ho, like where the hoes at? There ain't no hoes in Thundercats.
The same thing was true with when Iron Man came out, Captain America came out. I mean, all of these young kids, they weren't going to the comic book stores. They weren't watching the stuff that was on cartoons on TV. They were watching like SpongeBob and crap.
Iron Man is inherently cool, though. He shoots rockets out of his arms and his shoulders. He's
got a sword and a mitten.
Yeah,
a mitten, a glove.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So Thundercats, man. We're 3-1 here. Boomers. Like.
Hey, maybe they make it a dark. Maybe they make it a dark movie and they do Mumra right. Maybe that'll save. They
need to do Mumra right. Mumra has to be done right. Like Mumra has to be done right. But Alonzo, what you bearish on, man?
Okay, so this one, it's hard for me to say this, but because the Avengers that we know aren't going to be on the big screen anymore, right? We know that. We know it's going to be a younger generation, but it's still a grail. It's still a key book. But prices are coming down. So if anything, I would buy on the dip. I wouldn't. It'd be an investment piece for something that's like a hold long term. It isn't something that I would buy to flip anytime soon because again, it's the Avengers ship has sailed. Even if they use the name Avengers for the next movie for MCU, like Phase 5 or Phase 6, it's going to have Young attached to it or something else. But it is a classic book. Again, it is a key. It is a grail. So I, again, would buy, but I wouldn't spend a whole lot of cash on it. But it is a long-term hold for sure.
And again, we're talking about the Boomer Avengers, not the Young Avengers now. The Boomer Avengers are done, man. Let's move on to the Young Avengers. We know what characters are coming out. We've seen them. We have a list. We have Kate Bishop, and we have Joaquin Torres that just showed up. We got Scarlet, the Scarlet Witch's kids. Yo, man, like we're moving into the young territory, man. Like they're ushering out these old guys, man. They're ushering out Thor. We know Iron Man ain't coming back. Maybe he'll come back as a hologram for Riri or something. We're gonna be probably moving to Hulkling, maybe Cho as Hulk. Like we're moving on, man. But if you're like us and you just want some good Silver Age books for your PC, like buy on the dip, right, Azores? What do you think?
Most definitely. I'm always this is one for the PC right here. So I actually don't even have this one yet. So I hope it keeps going down so then I can add that one to the list. But yeah, right now we already know things are changing. We've had them for a good 10 years. The Avengers were on top of things, and now it's a changing of the guard. We have a new blood coming in, and we have a lot of new shows and series and movies on the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. Alonzo's right with this one. This is a book you want, right? Obviously, this is a grail. This is a book that you want to have. However, this is not a short-term flip. This isn't something you buy and say, "Oh, I'm going to sell this in a year or sell this in 2 years, whatever." This is a book now you buy, you take to the grave, you give to your kids, you do something like that. This is a retirement book, at this point. Similar to many of the other great keys, like the Captain America first appearance and stuff like that. Like this is one of those ones that you get, but you're not trying to go to war with another eBayer over this book right now.
It's the same thing with Iron Man 55. You don't see anybody else rushing to shop to buy an Iron 55, but Big Rob, who's a Thanos fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's done, man. Like, Thanos ain't coming back, bro. And we're losing the Avengers, and they probably ain't coming back after a couple of years. We're ushering the guard, So we're bearish on Avengers. But what?
One quick note on that for that Iron Man 55. We all know Thanos. They may show his life story on Eternals. That's another reason to keep your eye on the Eternals, because they may show the past of Thanos and how he grew up and how he came about. Because if you don't know, now you know he was an Eternal. So,
interesting, man. Interesting. So, why'd you have to give that up, Azores, man? We wanted that to be cheap. You know what I'm saying? So, but on to our next segment. So, this is our buy that not that segment. These are books that are not bullish or bearish, but books that we are picking up now for future gains, or books that just might be overhyped and overpriced. This is where we are keeping it 100%, y'all. So, Nick, not that, man. So. This is a book that you'll see if you can follow comic book groups on Facebook. You'll see this every 5 flips of your phone or something like that. Everybody's trying to buy this book. Everyone's talking about this first cover appearance. Is it cool? Yes. Is it Todd McFarlane? Yes. Should you have it in your collection? Yes. Should you be paying $300, $400 for it right now? No. It's his third appearance. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. In the comics. And it's his first cover appearance. It's a cool book. And is it worth something? Yeah, man. But wait till the fervor cools down. Wait till the heat is a little bit chill. Right? There are other options where you could throw your hard-earned dollars. So we're telling you right now, at this current juncture, on April 16th, not that. Yo, man, this book's like Bitcoin's. It's seasonal, bro. I have no idea why. Every time in March, it heats up. Right before con season. I have no idea why. Like it cools off around like fall, and you can buy it on the dip for like under $100, and then it goes up to $200. Like I have no idea what's going on with this book. Like it started to heat up in 2019, right before the Todd McFarlane signing. Everybody wanted it to get signed by Todd McFarlane, and then it kind of went into hibernation. Now it's back up to heat, man. We're in April, just after March. I mean, I have no idea why. Like. What do you think, Alonzo?
I think the reason why its prices are the way they are, it's because a lot of newer fans are getting into the King in Black, and they're like, "Oh, this is a great story. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this involves Venom. I can't afford Amazing Spider-Man number 300. I'm gonna get this book right here." So I think a lot of that has to do with what's currently happening in the market, what the stories are right now, and that's why people are kind of flocking to this particular book because they can't have a quote unquote key or first appearance. They might as well have something else. And again, to Nick's point, it is an iconic cover. I mean, this thing has been homaged to hell. I mean, you see this all the time, and it's great. But would I pay $300 for it? $350? No, I would not.
It's a $300 book now. You just blew me. You just melted my face off, bro. $300 for this one? Like what?
See,
what?
when we tell you, hey, get Young Avengers for $300, but don't get this one, it's because there's upside, right? This book is maxed out around $300. It's not worth that. I mean, yeah, maybe in 10, 15 more years, but currently, it's not a $300 book. It shouldn't be.
I think a lot of new collectors are trying to collect the ASM Todd McFarlane run, his first run, and they need this to complete it, and they're like, "Fuck it, let me buy it." You know, like I have no idea. I'm trying to like percolate in my mind, like, why is this you just tell me $300? I thought it was a $200. Like, why did it go up $100? What, can you help me out, Azores? Why?
And correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot on the census, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a large print run.
Yep.
But I think people are actually gearing up and getting ready for Venom 2. You know, they're trying to have high hopes for that movie coming out. And then, like Lonzo was saying, you know, they're reading The King in Black. They've been reading the Venom run with Donny Cates. And, you know, it's got everybody hyped. But then also, like you were saying, it's a lot of new collectors in the game now. So, you know, they're getting their key books for their PCs, you know. So I think it's more about people gearing up for the movie. I think we're getting closer to that, and they're starting to drop little news here and there. And then also you got the Spider-Man movie. So
yeah, and you know what, Azores? I didn't even think about that. I think you're right too, because like there's a lot of like rumors going on that, you know, Spider-Man and Venom are gonna meet, and this might happen, you know. So I feel you. I can see why people would want to buy this. But I still wouldn't pay $300 for it.
Right, because like you all said, you know, once that all if it happens, and once you know the movies take place, we all saw what happened after the first movie. It's gonna take a dive, and then that's when you want to grab it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yo, Nick, and you gotta buy that, bro.
Yeah,
buy that.
Buy that, right? Imagine these two things right together. So this book was kind of expensive before Far From Home came out. When they showed the, I think it was the back of the boat, and it had a license plate or something like that referred to the first appearance of Hydro Man, this book blew up. This is also a Venom Key, guys. So those Venom fans who are looking for, you know, the last book we just talked about, here's a much more cost-sensible Venom Key to grab. So this is his actual true first cover appearance, if you consider his whole head and some words there, his cover appearance, right?
Right.
And you know, and in the inside of this book, I think this is like his second appearance or something like that. So like this is an early Venom appearance and a early cover appearance. Get this book. I think it's $20, guys. Buy that.
Buy that. Yo, I'm down to buy that. And like, it's only obvious that this is his first cover appearance. His face is on there, his name is there, and he's actually saying something. He's saying, "Yeah, right. Yeah, right. This is my first cover appearance." What do you think, Alonso?
I can't go out and say. I would honestly, I would prefer to buy this one over the other one, but that would be it. As far as like the McFarlane run, I have all the books. And this particular cover just doesn't do it for me. I mean, he has so many other iconic covers. But you know what? If I had to choose, I would definitely pick this one up rather than the other one we talked about.
Zoris, what you think, bro?
Say, once again, this is one for the collection. You know, that's a ASM with the McFarlane run, and I think they quoted as a second appearance of Venom. But I mean, classic cover, classic characters in there, and it's only a matter of time before we start seeing more characters on the movies, because we're headed into the college years pretty soon. We're headed into the college years.
Yo, and last show, me and Nick talked about obscure Marvel characters, right, Nick? Obscure Marvel characters, right? Who would ever think John Walker would be my favorite MCU character of all time now? You know, like it showed up on screen. Who would ever think the Flag Smasher?
Don't spoil it for Nick. Don't spoil it for Nick.
Oh no, he's already seen John Walker.
Yeah, you see John Walker. You know the Flag Smashers. But who would ever think they would be such a big part of the MCU now, right? Like,
it's true.
Right? Like, so, Nick was on it. So, Nick, not that.
Look, turtles are great. Get them for cover. You know, like if you can get turtle book for cover, you can get ratio books for ratio. Get them for that. The secondary market on the turtles, it seems to be fleeting. It's here for a while, and then it dies down a little bit. Jenica was super hot for a long time. Mm-hmm. Now she's not so hot. You know, there's a new TV show announced, and then the new TV show comes out, and people don't like the art style, right? So like, Turtles is very finicky. We all grew up on Turtles. I'm a huge Donatello fan. I bought the Jenica books and all that stuff, just like everybody else. The Last Ronin and stuff like that. I'm sure those are awesome books, but you know what? I'm going to be able to buy them a lot cheaper than you guys are buying them right now in the secondary market months and months from now, because you know what? The Last Ronin will probably never be adapted into a cartoon movie, like a DC Comics cartoon style movie that would have to be, you know, it's just Nickelodeon. I just don't see it, you know. At Paramount, maybe Paramount Plus comes out and there's the demand. People start saying release the Snyder, you know, Turtles cut or something like that. I don't know. And they want, but I just don't see a Turtles property capturing the same audience that it did back in the 90s when I was a kid, you know, and I was singing Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. You know,
Go Ninja, Go Ninja.
You know, I don't. I just like the most recent Turtles movie came out. I watched it. It was a lot of fun. Did you guys know there was a sequel for that movie that came out that had Bebop and Rocksteady in it?
Man, I didn't. I watched it 5 minutes and I
can't remember.
Not a lot of people remember that exactly. Yeah. So just think about that, man, because you know a lot of the movie spec drives this market, right? And a lot of it drives this market, and there just isn't for that. Buy these books because you want to read them. Buy them because you can get them for cover because you want to collect them. Don't chase the pump. That's all I'm saying.
What do you think, Alonzo?
So I'm on the fence. I'll be honest. I'm on the fence. I think with The Last Ronin, I think it's right now it's a great story. I'm loving it, but in between releases, it's like, when is it going to drop? I mean, we had, I think, a 2-month, 3-month lag between issues 1 and 2. I know issue 3 should be coming out, or will it? I have no idea. So I mean, we're having this lag, and I know if there's a lot of people that, you know, it's on your pull, or you're just kind of walking through the store like, hey, look, I'm going to try this book and I like it, but you're going to forget about it if it's not coming out next month. And that's how I feel about The Last Ronin, even though Last Ronin is great. As far as like the main title for Ninja Turtles, there's a lot of history around that. It's built on it. And if you're not following it, you're going to be lost. Even with like the introduction, to Nick's point, of Jenica. Jenica was like this breath of fresh air because it's somebody that was new that we could get behind. But all that hype kind of died down because it's like, well, what are we going to be doing with this character? Where do we see her going? You know, how is she interacting with all the other turtles? And it seems like she's doing her own thing. So I don't know. Again, I'm on the fence. I can totally see Nick's perspective. And I mean, but I can definitely say if you can get it cheap, I would definitely do that for sure.
Zors, what you thinking, bro? What you thinking, Zors?
Hey, well, I'm also a Turtles fan. I actually went digging in my long boxes, and I found, I think the furthest back I found was like a #1, but a 5th print. So that's that wraparound cover, you know. So I sent it out, you know, for nostalgia purposes. But man, these the prices on the originals now are through the roof. So if you didn't get it back then, you know, you got to do a lot of legwork to get them now. So I definitely will be paying attention to the dip whenever that happens. And I'm also enjoying the last Ronin, so I want to see how that's gonna all turn out. It's been a good series so far, so I'm actually keeping up with that one. And yeah, so right now I mean, I'm not trying to spend that much money for a lot of the older Ninja Turtles books that I didn't get when I could have. So I'm just keeping an eye on the market.
Nope. I really don't really see a return on investment for the older books, you know, for the first prints. You know, I don't see a return on investment on those. I did have a few of the fifth prints of #1, and I got rid of them when last Ronin kicked in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I sold them for a pretty good price, and the prices came back down. You know, and I'm not down to I'm not down to bag hold. I'm not holding any motherfucking bags, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, I think Jenica there's a good dip for Jenica right now. I think, you know, like maybe in the future that could be a bullish book you could think about as, you know, Jenica's first appearance, and I think it was like 55 or something like that, or 51, and then I think it was 70, 75. 75 was her first appearance as a turtle.
95.
It was, 95. That might be good pickups, but
yeah,
you know, like those prices are fleeting, man. I'm looking at them and I'm like, it's gonna come back down. So I'm a not that person on this. I'm a not that on the turtles. But up next, buy that for me. Buy that. Second appearance of Dr. Aphra. I think people are sleeping on this one, man. You know, like I think Dr. Aphra's probably. I think I'm bullish on Dr. Aphra on Darth Vader #3. But I think this is a book that's being slept on. It's pretty cheap right now, man. You can pick this up and you can actually find these in bins, man. I don't think people are even aware of this second appearance right here, man. Like, and it could be a pretty hard book to find in a 9.8 with these red covers. But I think Dr. Aphra, I think there's a lot of room for Dr. Aphra. I think she's going to be in the Star Wars universe on Disney films pretty soon. She's a must. She's a character that we all love as comic book readers, and I think she's coming. And I really don't think the first appearance is out of hand yet, but it's sort of getting there. But you can actually find these second appearances for an affordable price. So you see it right here. You see what the cover looks like. You see Darth Vader #4. I know I'm giving this away because it's something I'm super bullish on and I want to buy more of. But I know you are gonna go to my local LCS and wherever I go and snatch them up. And more power to you, man. But I'm for mi gente, and go search out for the second appearance of Dr. Aphra. I know Alonzo's a big fan of Dr. Aphra too.
Oh yeah, I love Dr. Aphra. I have several copies. Of her first appearance. I wish I got the 1 in 25. I'm still missing that one. And the second, So. With the second appearance, I'm all for it. Like if you can pick up anything Dr. Aphra related, I definitely would. She's going to be in there, and if people that can't afford the first appearance, the second appearance is just as good. So I am definitely on that bandwagon.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Azores?
So I'm totally on board, Dr. Aphra. When I see the first print, I grab it. Like you said, loading up. And look at that cover, man. That Darth Vader, in his prime, man, getting ready to destroy whatever's in front of him. But I mean, the series has been an awesome run, and I can't wait to see what they do with the character of Dr. Aphra, because I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. And then the first character to come from the comic books, not from the movies, not from the TV shows, like straight from the books. So that's gonna be like one for ours, one for our people. So it'll be awesome to see it, and be able to keep up with that. And then, we're already ahead of the game with that one.
What you think, Nick?
I love second appearances. This is a good book. Make sure I would definitely pick this up. I don't do enough Star Wars, and to be frank, guys, I didn't even know this cover. So now I'm gonna look out for it. So thank you for educating me.
I keep finding these, man. I found this like 2 days ago in a bin. I'm like, what? I did at my LCS, which gets like rated by everybody. I'm like, why is this? What? And I had to look like, is this for reals? Like, because everybody's been, everybody went Star Wars crazy during, the Christmas season, the winter season when, Boba Fett was out, man. And this was still there. So you could still find this. Like, go look in your LCS and, urban or in the backwood LCS. And, you might be able to find it, man. It's a good buy. But for not that, what you got at Exorce? Not that.
So not that. So basically with Mephisto, everybody went crazy for Mephisto, and we did not see Mephisto in the WandaVision, where everyone was thinking that we were going to see him. I was looking forward to it, but then I was like, you know what, Mephisto is a bigger than life character, and I don't think they're gonna bring him up on the TV series. I think that's somebody that they might save for the movies and such like that. So this one, I'd wait for it to go back down again, and then that's when you want to strike. Still get this book. This is an awesome one for the PC. Silver Surfer #3. You cannot not have that in your personal collection. So not that right now. Wait for it to go down.
Nick, I know you have thoughts on Mephisto. What's up, man?
Yeah, same thing, man. This is one of those books that like you should own, right? Like a Silver Surfer #3, but like don't buy it because you think like, hey, it's gonna show up in this TV show or something like that. Like he's the devil. You gotta ask yourself, right? Was Marvel gonna introduce the devil?
That's what I'm saying. Is Disney gonna do it? Disney gonna bring a devil up in their film?
The devil. He's not a devil. He's the devil, right? He is another name for Lucifer. He's the Marvel Lucifer, essentially, right? Because Marvel's like, we're not gonna just call our guy Lucifer, DC, but they come up with an actual original name called him Mephisto, right? He's the Lord of the Underworld, right? We'd be getting into all kinds of different stuff, right? So yeah, I agree. This is a not right now, maybe later, all kinds of things as opposed to buy that.
Lonzo, what you think about Mephisto, man?
I think, like, to everybody's point, I think we're all in agreement. I think this is just for the PC. I don't think he's going to be coming anytime soon, whether it's in 1 year or 5, maybe even 10. I mean, even in Hellstrom, which was supposed to be like the answer to like horror for Marvel, they didn't even mention Mephisto. They didn't even, I mean, it wasn't even horror. I mean, you think of the devil, I mean, you're thinking of like, oh my God, this stuff is going to happen. Like,
they said demon.
Crazy.
That was as close as they got.
Right? So it's not going to happen. It's a PC book. So yeah, not that.
Yo, man, he hasn't even showed up in the MCU, and I'm already Mephisto'd out. I'm Mephisto fatigued about hearing about Mephisto on all these shows and all these live chats. Mephisto here, Mephisto there. I'm like, Mephisto, fuck you. I'm just done. I'm just done. I'm done about Mephisto, man. So, yo.
What about Doctor Strange?
No, Doctor Strange?
Maybe.
For Doctor Strange, I want to see Dormammu back. I think he was underutilized.
He was.
And he's this big, larger than life character.
But we had him though.
I want to see him. I want to see him
But
again.
it was a giant head. They gave him like almost a Galactus treatment from Fox, right? Like he was like you squinting your eyes away from him being a blurry cloud, But it was like you could make out it's like we really do want the dudes in the mask. We really just do. Like really, like that's what we want. Like when I saw Zemo had his mask on, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
That was awesome.
Like, and they did a little thing where like form fitted it to his eyebrows and stuff like. I'm like, yeah, you guys did it right. That's what we want, man. Just give us the for Dormammu. Give me the guy with the corduroy helmet on. Give me the guy with the corduroy mask on. Right? Just give me that, and I'll be good. When you give me what's it call it? Dude with the fishbowl on his head. Give me the fishbowl. Right?
Oh no, what's his name?
I can't say because I just said Mephisto a bunch of times, but
Mysterio.
So I get it. There's all kinds of cool stuff and cool ways of explaining things, and look, Mystique's skin actually like turns into that stuff. I don't care if she's just a person in a blue paint if it's done well. I just want what I see on my comic book page to come to life.
Like Thundercats and Unitards, right?
That's why I can't envision anything else. That's why I have to try to I was like, okay, maybe they go this Gods Unchained version, and it's like they do. Yeah, I don't know. They go mythological with it. Maybe that would be cool. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna turn this one over to Alonzo, and Alonzo says, "Buy that, buy that."
Yes, definitely buy this. Again, second appearances, people might be priced out of the Young Avengers #1, and they should still be buying Avengers #1, Young Avengers #1. But the second appearance, it's definitely affordable. Like, and you're still getting to know these characters. So why wouldn't you buy it? You know? So definitely, I'm gonna buy that. Second appearances, this is a great book to have either for your PC or even to like invest in or flip later. This book has so much potential.
Yeah, man, these books are still $10 on eBay. You know, still a very good book to buy. I think this could be a $50 to $100 book when we see Kate Bishop. You know, like, because people are gonna get priced the fuck out with Young Avengers #1. It'll be over if you're not buying Young Avengers #1 right now. It will be over because everybody's gonna have that man crush. All those old guys are gonna have that, like, you know, we're not gonna say it, but we're gonna have that little man crush on Kate Bishop because she's gonna come out whipping that ass, and all the kids are gonna love Kate Bishop so much. I just already see it, man. These young kids are gonna. She's a young kid person, right?
Yep. For $10, you're gonna wish you bought this book 100 times over versus whatever random issue you paid off of the wall on Wednesday, right? You're gonna sit there and go, man, I shouldn't have bought that ratio variant. I should have bought Young Avengers instead. Because why this book is going to be, like you said, $50 to $75, easy. You can find this book in dollar bins. You can find this book for cover in back bins. Why this book hasn't blown up and the other book, issue #1, has blown up so big, it tells me this is undervalued. If issue #1 is $300 raw, this should be $30, easy.
This should be worth way more than it is. I just wonder, you know, like to JR's point, he always tells us, right? Like, you know, #2s are always underprinted. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this is underprinted or not. So if someone out there in the live chat wants to tell me if it is or not, let me know. But you know, like I'm just out here for mi gente again, man. Like this is a book I've been kind of hunting down, and I've been finding in bins. I've been actually finding in bins. You know, Young Avengers #2, and I'm wondering why is it there? What do you think? What do you think, Azores? What do you think about #2 of Young Avengers?
So basically, I'm getting first appearance, second appearance, third appearance because this is going to be crazy. I think we're going to see it explode, and people are waiting till they actually visually see them. They're not believers yet. So get these books while you can, because once we do see them all together, or have that show announcement with the title Young Avengers, it's gonna be too late.
Yeah, so man.
Stack up.
So yo, thank you for joining us over here on another Bearish and Bullish. We hope to see you next week. We're gonna try and do this weekly for a bit, man, and get our groove going. We're gonna be having some good guests on here. We hope Alonzo can keep up on here, man, and telling us like, you guys are stupid. Why something's coming to Why you gotta fuck with my favorite book, man?
Thundercats, come on! But just these outrageous prices at $300 some odd. It's not worth it.
I know, but the boomer books. Alonzo loves some boomer books, man. So do we. I like the boomer flex. With my Thundercats too. But yo, Azores, man, you want to send us out, bro?
Hey, if you want to do it right, collect what you like.
Bam.